Let's check in with White House correspondent for Turning Point, Monica Paige. Monica, a lot of stuff going on today that's really interesting, including possibly brokering peace around the world and not from a war that you're consistently hearing about in the mainstream media. Tell us what happened at the White House today.
Right. So the president and his administration meeting with the foreign ministers of both the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda, who have been fighting for decades, coming here to the White House to sign a peace deal. Now, this is, I think, the third peace deal that these two nations have been trying to sign over the course of multiple decades. But this is going to be the first one of its kind right here at the White House. The first peace deal, I believe, was called the Nairobi Process, and the second one was called the Luanda Agreement. But given the fact that different kinds of rogue militias kind of dominate that area, and given the fact that Congo is very rich in minerals and other foreign countries can benefit from those minerals, peace between those two nations just really hasn't gone off with a hitch both of those times. So hoping that President Trump can really make this peace agreement stick between these two nations, and we can finally see yet another ceasefire, I guess you could call it, or just end to the
Yeah.
fighting, because we saw it with India, Pakistan, Iran and Israel, soon Russia, Ukraine. And, we'll see if this is just another one President Trump can check off his box.
Yeah, this this would be a big win if he could actually make sure there's a peace in that war-torn part of the world, but also not often talked about a lot. Speaking of war-torn, that's probably a bit of an exaggeration. The press briefing room this morning when President Trump came out talking about the SCOTUS rulings. We've been talking about SCOTUS all today. This is kind of when they drop a lot of their decisions and then head for the hills and don't ask any questions. But President Trump had a press conference. You were in the room. What's it like in there with those types of things? Obviously, Carolyn Levitt has these scheduled press briefings, and I feel like from a viewer's perspective, I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's more tame, but is this one similar to that? These kind of impromptu ones?
Well, this is the second impromptu briefing that the president has held that we were aware of just minutes before, less than an hour before we were notified. And you could just see all the reporters kind of scrambling to find a spot. At least in the press secretary's press briefings, we're aware of them at least a day ahead of time. But at this point, when it comes to the president, all decorum is out the window. Everyone is screaming
Hmm.
over each other. The hands go up immediately when President Trump says, "Anybody have any questions?" We knew what was happening next. Everyone's hands go up. The president can't see you. We were standing off to the side, so I don't even know if he even got to see me beyond the hands and the screaming. But it's definitely a different kind of battle, because you're trying to get him to see you. You're trying to ask a question, and then you've
Yeah.
got all the legacy media sitting right in front of you. But nonetheless, the president was very happy with this ruling, of course, curbing the nationwide injunctions placed on the president to allow him to carry out the duties that the people voted for him for. So it's a very big win here at the White House, and the president seemed to be in very good spirits when he was talking about it with all of us.
From an outside perspective too, like I think we all kind of have seen pictures of the White House press briefing room. It's not super big. It's not this like
No.
big expansive space, and you kind of just assume that the nation's leading media in the most powerful country in the world wouldn't act like a zoo. But it just seems like, especially with this president, probably because he actually takes press conferences, unlike the last guy. It seems to be wild and crazy, but glad you made it out of there safe, Monica.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. It's always you could just never tell with these kinds of things. You're kind of just
yeah.
on top of everybody, and everyone's breathing on you, everyone's shouting in your ear. It's not an enjoyable experience. But hey, listen, we're just happy to be here and be with the president. So
I was gonna say, yeah. At
it's
the
good
end
at
of the
the end
day,
of the
though,
day.
yeah. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, at least he's accessible, so that's good.
Yes.
Monica Page, Turning Point White House correspondent. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Thanks, guys. You too.